Hi, I'm Daniel Lucas, and welcome to Abstract Essay, where ideas take shape, thought find depth, and every conversation explores the art of thinking beyond the obvious. And today I have my special guest. He is award-winning life coach, of course, an author helping people navigate anxiety, burnout, and the life transitions without toxic positivity. And the author of the book, The Northern Light Within, Bloom in Winter, Shine in Every Season. No other than Mr. Ashish Singh.
Thank you.
Welcome, Mr. Ashish on Abstract Essay. And can you please introduce more about yourself that I miss?
Sure. Can we turn down the music a little bit?
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
No
Thanks, Daniel,
worries.
for having me. And I'm Ashish. I'm a life coach here in Toronto, and I'm also an author of an award-winning book called The Northern Light Within. And I help people to navigate stress, anxiety in their life, and help them to reach a happier and a calmer state.
Yes, and thank you so much for sharing your knowledge and wisdom to the world, Mr. Ashish. Thank you. The Northern Light concept is a powerful, elusive, and natural phenomenon. How did you land the central metaphor to the inner strength and guidance you write about?
Sure. So the Northern Light actually, kind of ties beautifully with what I kind of teach people because we all have a light within and which is always present. It was just that we sometimes don't, observe it or don't see it. But it doesn't, but whether you see it or not, it's always there. It's kind of like Northern Light, which is there. But when you see Northern Light when the night is dark, when you travel north. So similarly, when you want to find your own light, the light within, it's almost like chasing the northern light. You have to go inward, go within, and take away all the clouds of uncertainty, all stress, and that's when you find that light shining. And that's the most beautiful light you can ever find. So it that's why this metaphor kind of ties in beautifully with what I say, because northern light you can see, but even for that you have to make an effort. You have to go north, you have to wait for the best conditions. Similarly, uh, for your light within, you have to go inward and create, in this case, create the conditions to observe that beautiful light, which is full of joy.
Full of joy. We love that, Mr. Singh. The personal winter. The book speaks to blooming in winter. What is a personal or professional winter season in your life that ultimately seeded the need to write this book?
I think there are two seasons which kind of, and it's uh, it just happened that both professional and personal winters came in the same time, and it was the year of 2018 when I had a slip disc, which is basically I had a very big back issue. And this was a time when I had newly moved into Toronto and I didn't know anyone. Here I was with no job because I had to leave my job because of the situation. Uh, I didn't know anyone around. I was stuck in this one bedroom condo and there was nothing else to look forward to. I saw really dark days, and the choice in front of me was either I surrender to this or I come out of this. And that's when I developed and learned skills to kind of bloom and make a life for yourself in the worst period of in your worst season, if I may say. So that winter for me, it was both real and metaphorical. The outside temperature used to be -5, -10 degrees Celsius, and inside temperature used to be even worse. And when I say inside, I mean what is inside my body, because it was very tough to sometimes motivate myself to get out of bed and do anything. And so I was feeling both physical and mental pain and a lot of uncertainty on the career front and the life front in general. So that's when I took it on myself that let me come out of this. And while I'd been teaching for like people in a uh, how should I say, a very yeah, as an part-time basis, people helping people to navigate struggles and teaching their meditation. But this is the time I thought this is the time I need to apply everything on myself, and I kind of made it the vision of my life that if someone else is facing the kind of mentor I am facing in my life, I'll make it a point to help them and get out of it. So that's when all these things which you see coming together in the book came about. I sought help. At the same time, I devised things to help myself. And this is what you see in the book.
Mr. Singh, to bloom in winter, shine in every season is a beautiful layered promise. Did the subtitle come first or did Evolve capture the book's full arc? What are the titles do you consider?
So my first actually title was a subtitle, interestingly. My first line I cracked was "Bloom in winter and shine in every season," because always wanted to write something with the lens of winter. So the first title was just actually the subtitle. And then I felt as I started writing, I felt I need to go deeper and help people start some practices which can help them discover the light. And that's when the metaphor of the northern light came to my mind when I saw them. I saw them in their full glory in Canada as well as Iceland. And while on my way back from seeing the northern lights, I felt this title just speaks to what I'm trying to write. So my first title actually was a subtitle, interestingly. But then Northern Light, the kind of metaphor came alive for me, and I felt this is it.
This is it. This is it for sure. And Mr. Ashish, as you began writing, was the specific person you were speaking to? What did you imagine them struggling with, and what did you most want them to feel or understand?
That's a big question because when I was writing this book, I was looking at two lenses. One, what I've gone through, people like me, everyday people like me who are working, facing stress at work. Uh, when the winter comes, they feel miserable. And, somewhere if they don't have something which they to look forward to in terms of daily practices, it becomes really, really strangling in a way to kind of come out of it. So that was one target audience I had in mind, people like me who have gone through this hell, people like me who have gone through anxiety, stress on a day-to-day basis. So how do I kind of help them to come out of it? Second one, of course, the clients of mine over the years. In the book, you will find my stories as well as their stories. Of course, I've made sure that their identities are protected. They're not mentioned directly, but they were also in a lot of way my target audience as well as my inspiration. Because a
Mhm.
lot of times a client teaches you things which you don't know. So for me, the clients have been uh, not only the people who have guided, but they have also guided me in a lot of ways. So their struggles, my struggles, they kind of formed beautiful. It would be tough to say target set, but it would be say this was the kind of audience I felt I need to address because I know there are a lot of us who struggle with stress, anxiety on a day-to-day basis. Sometimes even when in the day is bright and everything is going well, even then something in the heart tells them things are not well, and they fall into negative thoughts, overthinking. So this is a book for everyone, like whoever is facing stress in their life.
Is for everyone, people, to release your stress and let it go. On process and structure, Mr. Ashish, a book about inner season could be structured in many ways. How did you decide on the book's architecture? Was it cyclical, linear, or thematic? What is the biggest challenge in giving from a such as introspective topic?
So I think the theme was the guiding force in this case, which was, the winter, both inner and outer. And I kind of went from there. Okay, what is winter? So I went step by step into, okay, what is it? Scientifically, what does winter does to you? So if you start the book, you will find some scientific evidences or scientific things about what a winter does to your body and why winter struggle is real. Because it's not something which we imagine. It is actually something which is real and there are scientific basis for that. So that kind of became a thought. Okay, now if I have to counter that, what are the simple 7 to 8 steps I would take? Because I don't want to make it too lengthy and too complicated. My guiding force was that let's make it simple so that people can do it on a day-to-day basis. So that's what the question I asked myself. Okay, if someone is going through a winter like this, both outside and inside, what are the simple 7 things they can do? 7 to 8 things. And I shortlisted actually 10. And then from 10, I went to 7 and created this winter loop of sort that if you do these simple 7 things, you will be able to come out of this winter, you can live a stress-free life on a day-to-day basis, even when the going outside is tough. So that was one. And then the other thing which I felt is that, it's good to give theory, and there's a lot of meditations and others sprinkled around these 7 theories. But I also gave them a ready reckoner, which is basically, if you see in chapters 8 onwards, you will find how you can apply these principles when you're feeling lonely, when you are, at work. So one was, what is the kind of the 7 things that was first shortlist, and the second thing is what are the practical applications of these 7 concepts. So it's a mix of concepts plus a beautiful ready reckoner, which kind of helps you, which or you can look at it any day to just see, okay, if I'm at work and anxiety strikes me, what do I do?
Mm-hmm. So, Mr. Ashish, let's talk about the voice and the tone. The subject matter is profound, but the tone could range from poetic or to instructional. How did you find a specific voice for this book? On one that is both a confronting companion and a clear guide.
I think you use a beautiful word called companion, and that's what exactly my thing was, that when I started the book, I was very clear that this should not be a book written from someone from the top talking down on anyone.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't want to write it as an expert, because you don't know, you can never be an expert in life. You're always learning, right? So I always wanted to write it as a companion and keep the language as easy and as calm as possible. So companionship for me was very, 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 paramount, and this is something which I've got as a feedback as well. That people who have read the book and spoken about it have said that it feels like one of us is speaking to us and telling us how to come out of it. So it's been written from that lens and that voice that, hey, I've faced this, I've helped people come out of this, and this is the simplest way you can do it, and I'm here to help you. So this was probably the kind of voice I was looking for, and I hope it has come across in the book.
The discipline of blooming. Writing a book itself is a long winter of solitary work. What are
Yes.
personal practices or routines did you rely on to maintain your own creative light and discipline through the process?
I think you're absolutely right here. It's a winter itself. I mean, that's so true, because you start off with a concept, and then sometimes you do have writer's block. You do feel, okay, am I writing well? I'm not writing well. So for me, the major thing was I just follow simple advice, which was given to me by someone who's written a book or two. He said, just keep writing. Whatever comes to your mind, don't evaluate it. Edit it later. Just first put it on paper. That's what I did. I use multiple devices to kind of write. Sometimes if a thought stuck me, sometimes it does happen with creative people that you're sitting on your sofa, or you're just driving. Sometimes your lines would come to you. So the first thing was to find your phone and write it as soon as possible. And later, I work basically in night, so I would compile all my notes from my notes app, from my phone or my diary. I'll put them all together and then see, okay, is it making sense? Is it going in some direction? And then, of course, piecing it together. And a lot of credit has to go to my wife. sounded a lot of ideas through her. Uh, she was very critical, and
Mhm.
sometimes she would dismiss it or like it. So that was a good sounding board to go through, and kind of keep me on a sort of a check and on a line. So yes, it's solitary in a lot of ways, but also collaborative because you need someone to kind of keep bouncing off. And then, of course, in the end, I did, ask an editor to kind of see how it is going through. But the idea was just keep writing. And when you keep writing, after a while, you see things falling in place or getting some structure, and then you have to work hard to kind of give it a shape.
Mhm. From abstract to concrete, Mr. Ashi, concept like resilience, inner light, or personal seasons can be feel abstract. Can you share a technique or a specific passage where you work hard to ground to begin to a tangible, relatable practices or story?
So the for abstract to become real and to kind of ground yourself, I think the first thing you need to do is realize or do like in even in corporate we call it situational assessment. So I think the first thing we need to always be uh or towards ourselves is we should be always be honest to ourselves. If we are in a situation, we need to kind of accept that situation as it is, not think, oh, this is not happening to me, or live in a delusion. No, if you feel there is a problem, the first solution to solve that problem is to accept that problem. So I think that was the first principle which kind of grounded me and helped me go through this book. Okay, there's a problem. I accept it, and now let's find solution to it.
Yes, find a solution for sure. If a reader took away only one practical exercise, meditation, or refrain from the entire book, which one do you hope becomes their non negotiable tool for navigating their own winter?
If they can, like, if they can do some of the meditations which taught there, especially the breath work and the meditations I put there, if they can take that and make one of those meditations, because the way I've written the book is that it's a buffet. You can choose the one which speaks to you. But my humble request to people will be open to choosing and pick up at least one thing which resonates with them and do it every day. So one concept which I hope people take it and pick up one of the exercises from my book is that in every day of your life, there should be a sacred me time, a time where you yourself, devote to yourself to find that inner light. And you can use any of the concept in my book or anything else which works for you, but find that sacred me time every day of your life. And if you do it, uh, I mean, you, you would find clarity, you would find a way out of your stress.
Indeed, sacred me time. Well, that's good for your writing, people. You've described a transformative process. How do you design the book to be an experience rather than just a read? Are there intentional poses, prompts, or design moments for reflection?
So for me, I think the choosing what exercises go into the book were always based on my experience with those exercises. So none of the exercises which are there are not ones which I've practiced, are other ones, or rather, let me put it this way. All the exercises which are there in the book have been either successfully practiced by me or my clients. So it is all result based. So for me, it was very important for the book's perspective to pick up things which have resonated with people and resonated with myself. And when I open the book, I request two things, and that's what something which people should take and also kind of book's premise is that you need to be open and you need to be authentic in whatever you do. Like that was what guiding light for my practices as well in the book, because the book needed to have things which are authentic, not influenced by XYZ people, authentic exercises which I have gone through my experiences, and which my clients have shared with me.
Interesting, Mr. Ashish. And the book own season. Now that the book is entering the world, it begins its own life cycle.
Yeah.
What's the season thus publishing this book feels like for you personally, as a spring new beginnings or a harvest of long work?
I think spring. I think spring of new beginnings, because writing it itself, sometimes can feel like both winter and summer. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
but I think it's a spring, because when I see the book in people's hand, or someone sharing the experience about the book, it just kind of it makes a smile to the face. So I think spring will be a very right metaphor for this book right now.
Yes, I like spring. So let's do spring then. And Mr. Aziz, before we wrap up our discussion for today, I'm inviting you to please do listen to my other podcast, people. My other podcast, because my abstract essay is already in sixth season, abstract poetry in third season, and my book 101 review in sixth season as well. Comedy 101 third season, and my food 101 in sixth season as well. Geography 101, Love Letters, Movie 101 Review, Music 101 our fourth season, Science 101, Sex 101 in fourth season, and my baby podcast, Trivia 101, Law 101, Mental Health 101, Motivation 101, Entrepreneurship 101, and of course, Bible Verses 101. Please listen to them wherever you listen your podcast. So, Mr. Aziz, this book feels like a cornerstone's philosophy. Does the northern lights within mark the completion of a message, or does it open the door to a broader conversation, potential follow-ups, or the forms of community and work?
So this is just a door to a broader conversation, basically, because this is something which has been written uh, in mind a specific season and specific stage in your life. And I'm now trying to work on a book which is based on, which is taking the practices into the next level, and make it more spiritual. So that is a book I'm working on right now. And of course, with this book, I'm also reaching out to communities and other people to kind of make sure that this book's message is widely spread and people adopt it. So in a way, it is just a foundation, and there are a lot of other things coming which will be building on the foundation which the Northern Light within us put across.
Yes, and thank you so much for sharing your knowledge and wisdom to the world, Mr. Ashish Singh.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you, Daniel.
thank you, thank you. And can you please invite our listeners to support your book, your advocacy, or whatever projects that you have right now?
Thank you so much, Daniel, for having me, and I hope that people follow the book.
Yeah, so where do people buy your book, Mr.
Amazon.
Ashish?
You can go to amazon.ca.com wherever you are, and the book is available both ebook and print form.
Yes, people, let's support Mr. Ashish Singh, because if you support him, for sure, more and more northern lights within will rise.
Thank you so
So,
much, Daniel.
yes, I have one more question, Mr. Ashish, and what does the ideal transformation look like for a reader? How do you hope they're different in their self-talk, their choices, and their perspective in the final page?
For the reader, or I couldn't hear it, sorry, because of music,
Yes,
sorry.
for the reader.
For the reader, I think the idea should be that they are open to change. They listen to their voice always. There's a northern light within, and they should take that time to find the unique light. In this world of noise, my hope is people are looking inside and finding their unique voice. Not my voice or your voice. I can just enable them to look inside and find their voice. And that's where the transformation begins. When you start finding your own voice, your own light, that is where the conversation has to be, and that is where the transformation begins. When you go within, not outside.
Mr. Ashish Singh, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you so much, Liam. Have a good one. Thank you.
More to come, people. See you soon.